always a relief for you, Cale?
Yes, because it's more so you just want to see who you're going to get. I think just like the other guys have told you, and what you're a part of, you guys are on social media and you see what's going on. It's just, even though you may have somebody who's been committed to you for a long time, is he really going to sign, or it's just kind of how this process is, and it's just a new chapter, and I'm excited for the guys that really want to be here, and look forward to getting them in here and starting a new group and moving on.
I don't know if it's a record, but there were so many guys that flipped in the last month here. Does it make you guys work harder than you've ever had to when you have all that going on out there? Because then you've got to flip guys.
But you really got to know what you're doing, I think. I think you got to dig deep and find out who these young men are, go through their families, find out their backgrounds, and you got to find out through the schools, other teachers, just not coaches. The challenging thing is just maybe some of the outside influences that's starting to come into our sport and recruiting that hasn't been here over the years. Personal trainers and coaches like there is in AAU basketball, and so I think even like Lincoln said, you better have a plan. You better know if you really think you got somebody, or if there's any a doubt at all that you may not, you better have a plan.
Does the decommitments, the pulling offers, the things Lincoln was just talking about, do those things make you uncomfortable as well at this point?
They do me, because of how I was raised. It's more of a personal deal, and the type of person that I am, and the person that that how I raise my children. But again, people come from different areas, different backgrounds, and sometimes there's reasons for things, and we can't control that. But I think there's some things that can be changed in the future and help that, and I don't know all the answers for those as well, but just hold some more people accountable for some things.
Any different for you, first full year receiver instead of the running backs?
It's been different. I'm starting to get a little bit more used to it. I enjoy it. It's different in recruiting a little bit as well. And I'm fortunate to have somebody like be around Lincoln and Dennis, who have been involved in it for so long. So it's when I was coaching and recruiting running backs, I'd start finding these guys when they were sophomores, and you have to do them for receivers as well. But I could almost kind of get zeroed in on 5 or 6 guys as sophomores, and who I felt obviously good enough on the field, and I felt good enough as people and the type of people that I wanted in to be a part of this program, and could get locked into them, and so I'm now trying to establish that as a receiver coach, but it still helps, being able to talk to recruits, and with the background, obviously, being here and coaching here for a long time, and coaching some of the guys that I've had coach here that have moved on and had success.
Is it harder to, when you're looking at receivers, can you really narrow it down to 5 or 6 like you could with running backs?
No, I haven't yet. I haven't found that out yet. And the other thing is, you're looking to sign 3 or 4, sometimes even 5 people do. So you really got to branch off even more. But I like our situation here, especially because, again, I've got another guy in Dennis Simmons, and he's phenomenal at what he does. He's got great connections, and between Lincoln and Dennis and I there's 3 of us that are working receivers like crazy all the time, 365 days out of the year, constantly talking to them. So, if we're recruiting this young man here at this school, he's not only hearing from one coach, he's hearing from 3 at least. So it's a pretty good situation.
And kids? I mean, throughout your time here, you've had, you know, a Jason White that impressed an AD. You've had an AD that impressed a DeMarco. How different or good is it to have a guy like Baker around or a guy like Samaje around for, you know, just making an impact?
It's huge, you know, because they know they see him on TV, they see him on Sports Center, they see him on the news, they see him in the paper, they see him on social media, and not only are they, you know, really good football players, they're fun people, you know, so that's priceless. They're you know, they're just as big as in this part in recruiting as what we're doing. And, you know, again, it goes back to that's why it's important to bring in good kids, you know. You know, last week, you know, Friday, you know, Joe Mixon's just, you know, he's hitting me up, Coach, you know, who's coming in, you know, who, you know, what positions, this and that. And you know, he's, you know, you guys have gotten to know Joe a little bit. He's got a smile on his face. He likes to have fun. I mean, he loves this place. This place means a lot to him. So, I mean, he is reaching out and trying to find these players as soon as they come here. And, I mean, even though he may not be assigned to them, I mean, he's with them, you know, 48 hours. And we have a lot of other players that do that as well. But they're just as important to us as we are as coaches.
Cale, what changed about your role with the assistant head coach title? What extra responsibilities come with that?
Oh, you know, I think just kind of getting the title, you know, being a recruiting coordinator I've been in for a while. You know, I've always run our camps. I've always run our clinics. You know, obviously being around here for a long time, playing here, people kind of lean on me at times for answers or, you know, and any of the stuff that, you know, Coach doesn't want to handle, he lets me handle. And not a lot of people like doing those things, but that's just kind of how I am. I like responsibilities, and I'm organized, and you know, anything he doesn't want to do, I'm more than happy to.
You miss coaching running backs, especially this last year when you would have had a couple pretty good ones to work with.
It's tough, but you know, I'm around them. But you know, I can't sit here and say that I don't miss it. But I think it was a good time for me. It's obviously in this offense, you know, having two wide receiver coaches, you know, that most systems have had, that have run this offense, and it's good for me timing to do some different things. And you know, couldn't have a better person than, you know, Lincoln to teach me, and Dennis as well.